Administration officials believe North Korea was behind the hack.
Could it have been North Korea, you think?
It could be. In my personal opinion, it's not. I mean, look at the bandwidth going into North Korea. I mean, the pipelines, the pipes going in, handling data. They only have like one major ISP across the entire nation. That kind of information flowing at one time would have shut down North Korean internet completely.
So you're saying, bottom line, they don't have the infrastructure to pull.
They don't have the infrastructure. They don't have the technical capabilities.
Really interesting. Whoever is responsible for the Sony cyber attack, these last couple of weeks remind us why we have to be vigilant in the fight against hackers. For security concerns and worries about identity theft, the man to reach out to is Professor Fraud. That is William Kresse. Welcome to Midpoint.
Great to be on. Good day to you. Welcome and greetings from Chicago.
We appreciate that. Let's get right into the investigation. You know, we actually had an expert on last week was talking about that the software used by the hackers is North Korean, but that anybody could really get that North Korean software and in a way almost frame the North Koreans. What do you think about the investigation right now? Where are we with who's to blame for this?
Well, I think we're still in the discovery phase, if you will. Yes, the coding that was used originated in North Korea, but that coding has been leaked out, so others could have used it to frame North Korea. The FBI is investigating. They say they have specific evidence that indicates North Korea. I will, for now, give the FBI the benefit of the doubt. It's common operating procedure for FBI and Secret Service when they conduct these investigations to not disclose all the information so they can reserve some of that to tie up later investigations. So I'll give the FBI the benefit of the doubt on it for now. However, there is certainly a lot of good expert opinion out there that thinks that this could not have been North Korea or might not be North Korea. Some are citing, as the expert you just had on said, the lack of internet connectivity with North Korea. The lack of expertise that they have. However, we do know that North Korea has cooperated with Iran in the past, and they have a lot of good experts who could be working on this. They frequently subject the Gulf states with hacking out of Iran. Some of it looks a lot like this. So my thinking right now is it's when you have a dictator as petty and pestilent as North Korea has, I think it's very likely it's still North Korea.
Yeah, it's a real whodunit. Now, you know, you talk about the cyber attacks on Sony, you got Russian hackers, we got the data briefs. Has there ever been a time you can remember when we've been so vulnerable? And it sounds like you think it's going to get even worse.
Yes, I believe it's gotten worse. I think the Sony pictures attack is particularly worrisome because this, for the first time, you see the marriage of hacking with terrorist threats. So that's bad. Additionally, we're seeing, potentially with North Korea as the state actor, you're seeing state actors getting involved in this hacking and what I've termed the weaponization of the internet. It was inevitable. At the start of the last century, a couple of brothers from Ohio went to North Carolina and man could fly. Within a few years, governments were putting bombs and machine guns on airplanes and strafing the trenches of World War I. A few decades after that, not far from where I am right now, Enrico Fermi and his group at the University of Chicago split an atom. Within a few years, we had Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So it was only a matter of time before governments learned how to use the internet as a weapon. The United States, because of our reliance on the internet, is particularly vulnerable to this. In a sense, we should be grateful if this did come out of North Korea, that Kim Jong-un, being as I say, petty and petulant, went after Sony Pictures when he could have used any other vulnerable targets of our infrastructure, our power grid, healthcare system, financial systems. So this, in a sense, we should be grateful. This is our wake-up call. This is telling us the age of innocence on the internet is over. We have to be more circumspect about what we put in emails, about how we set up systems. Corporations may want to back away from having enterprise-wide computing, where we got one system that handles everything from the heating and ventilating and air conditioning to the payment system and to the trade secrets, to HR and to email. So I think we've turned a corner here where we have to be more cautious.
Professor Fraud framing the issue for us. I'll tell you what, as you mentioned, it could get only worse. We got to protect ourselves. Thanks so much for the fantastic information on Midpoint TV right here on Newsmax.